Good evening, everyone. I'm Zarah Alfred, and tonight I'll be taking you on my journey of a very exciting yet stressful Class 12 project. I started off my year with fashion design, and I was so set on doing this as my Class 12 project. The first week came, and I sat in front of the sewing machine, and I sewed one side of a cloth, and decided to go onto YouTube, and then I took a nap. At the end of the month, I still hadn't done anything further on that piece of cloth, and I considered changing my project. Technical difficulty? Okay. And then I decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to stay with fashion because I'm not one to just give up so easily. And then the second month came, and I still had done nothing. And teachers were already asking us, how far are you with your thesis? Have you begun? Have you read the Harvard referencing? And I was like, no. So I was looking around for things that would really challenge me, things out of the box. And I couldn't think of anything. And when I realized that what I actually needed was inside the box, my true passion, I was beyond happy. See, I didn't want to continue with something that I already knew how to do. I wanted to try something different, you know, challenge myself. And then I decided to stick with my passion, which is photography. And eventually, I just ended up going out. Landscape photography. I thought, this is going to be my thing. I'm going to do landscape photography, and I'm going to own it. However, pictures were so beautiful, but it was boring. You know, it was really boring. So I looked back to 2014. We did our job shadowing that year. We were in grade 10, and I did photography for job shadowing as well. So I looked back at my work and I thought, what inspired me? You know, what was the meaning behind all of this? And then I decided, you can do black and white photography because since you have to narrow down your topic and write a thesis about it, black and white photography seems pretty narrowed down. These were 2 series that I did, and I was really impressed with it. But before I made them black and white, they were in color, so I decided to make more of these kinds of pictures with the paint dripping down faces, and I was really happy with a pop of color. And then I decided, okay, let's move it over to portrait photography because it's much better. I was so happy with this, and I started sharing my work on Facebook and Instagram, and people always ask me like, why do you have paint dripping down people's faces? And I was like, I don't know, it looks pretty. And I really like things to have meaning, and I realized that this didn't really have meaning. So then I was stuck because I was like, okay, portrait photography, how can I link meaning to that? And that was when I ventured into documentary photography. At this point, I was thinking, what can I document, you know? And I thought, okay, definitely a social issue. And then, being the little feminist warrior I am, I decided it was going to be women empowerment, you know? I really wanted to cast away a stereotype awful. And then I realized, okay, you like working with people, so you need models. But I couldn't afford models. Luckily, I had my squad, and the only payment they needed was food. So we got together, and we spent 4 hours on one shoot. And this was one of the images created. This opened my eyes completely, and I knew that from now onwards, my pictures would have meanings behind them, even if it's the process that followed up to it. And then I've been building a career for a really long time. Okay, maybe like just a year. So besides this project, I would also do other work for people, and I was hired by these 2 models to do like a street style shoot in Clove Street. And one thing led to another. I was invited to join a group of models and photographers called 11th Street. We did a shoot in Bo-Kaap, and I was like so beyond impressed with this. But I soon realized that a group this early in someone's career is not good because you need to establish yourself first. So I left the group, but it was a big eye-opener to work with people who I had just met, because it's not, people who know me don't think I'm shy, but I'm really, really shy when it comes to people you just met over WhatsApp. So I'm someone that hardly gets sleep, and lots of people know this. So I go to bed like really late at night, mornings even. So I was up one night, and my sister was up with me, I think, and my cousin. And I just had this idea, like, let's just put glitter on their faces. Because this was after this shoot, and I had given myself some time to think, you know, create new content. And I just had this crazy idea of glitter. And I think that's where my love of photography comes from. It's very spontaneous, I like things to be fun. And it's really hard for me to talk about photography because it's a very personal and internal thing, you know. It's like an alter ego, it's a part of me. And that was where I was at. I can say that I've had many doors open up to me throughout this process. And it's hard to think that 6 months of work is ending in however long my speech is, maybe 10 minutes, you know? This whole process has been really tough for me. Well, not tough, like the thesis was tough. The practical was awesome. I wanted to do practical the whole day. But like I said, so many doors have opened up to me. One of them being that I was one of the photographers at the Paralympic send-off for our Paralympic. You know, it is such an honor, and I mean, I'm 17 and I'm already busy working on my career that I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, not many 17-year-olds can say that. At the moment when your school gives you the opportunity to be the matric wall photographer for the class of 2016. This whole process was really thrilling for me, honestly. I wouldn't have I would have been sad if I chose fashion, to be honest. Fashion is amazing, but it's not for me. Always good. Always go with your gut. So we're all desperately trying to put ourselves in a box at this age, you know. Do I like this? Do I like that? What is my style? This is what I struggled with mostly throughout my project. And what I learned throughout this project was to follow your instinct and know what's good for you. Never try and be someone you're not by doing something that's not true to your passion. Always stay true to your calling, even if you have to fail to get there. And boy, did I fail so many times, but I rised. Photography has opened many doors for me, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm glad that I've made a career out of it. I would just like to thank some people. Well, a lot, so bear with me. I'd like to thank my parents for funding and guiding me through this process, and thank you so much for helping with my display. I wouldn't have thought of half of the ideas that you guys came up with. To Zarah Alfred for being my muse whenever I wanted to create images. She really begged me for this thank you, but Iman, really thank you. You were there for me at 2 a.m. and 6 p.m. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. She said I can't use her pictures if I don't thank her. But honestly, her pictures were the foundation of this process. I'd like to thank Zoe, Sky, Shifa, and Fayada for being my best motivators. You guys rock, and you guys were the best models ever. And thank you for helping me create images about something I know we're all passionate about. I'd like to thank Mahmoud, David, and Ryan for helping me create some of my best work. Donnie Needham for motivating me every morning at school before I had even had my morning coffee. I'd like to thank Liesel Harsbrook for constant input and motivation throughout this process. Liesel, your voice notes, your WhatsApp messages, they have kept me alive, and thank you for those rocks that you put at my display. They're very beautiful. I'd like to thank Serene, Rue, and Renat Wonderful for taking the time to go through my thesis, you know, before the final product. And I think it's 100%, guys, if so your markings. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Stellenbosch Waldorf for granting me the opportunity to do this project. And I'd like to end off with a quote. Do not be denied your destiny, for what lies behind you and what lies in front of you matters little compared to what would. Oh, let me do that over, please. Do not be denied your destiny, for what lies within you and what lies in front of you. I'm sorry. It's cheating. Do not be denied your destiny, for what lies behind you and what lies in front of you matters little when compared to what lies within you. Robin S. Sharman.